Uh, you are welcome to this segment. So I want us to talk about the more realistic zones to call liquidity zones. As we already know that the market doesn't move without liquidity, so you can see. And liquidity is one of the things that make the market to move very to each directions. So we already know the areas that are liquidity, which are our area of double bottoms, M patterns, and head and shoulders areas. But I want you to also note that those areas are liquidity zones, quite all right. Yes, but there are other areas that we can consider majorly as liquidity areas while trading the chart. You can see I'm on the 15 minutes chart, and you can see this market is going to the downside as from this 15 minutes. You can see it's going to the downside, right? Now, someone can say, what of here? Since the market is going to the downside, we'll come here and we had a breakup structure. This is a breakup structure. You can see that. And you can see the market turned around and did what? Change of character here. Then it actually gave this kind of confirmation that you want to continue from here. But this kind of confirmation now, there is no clear W bottom here. So it means that here is a typical liquidity zone. It is a typical liquidity zone. You understand? So anytime you come to the chart and you see clusters of candle like this, and that clusters of candle made a massive movement, just know that that massive movement is coming from a liquidity sweep. Now, some people might have entered here for a buy on this, right? Now, they will put their stop loss around this area. Around here, they'll put their stop loss around here, right? Now, the market have to come back there to do what? To sweep them out, because this is not a clear W bottom. It is not a clear W bottom. Rather, it is just clusters of candle that made a movement. So if you just try to, although you can see this leg and this leg, but it is not as clear as this other W. Let me show you a very clear W, a very clear W, a very clear W. I want to show you on this chart so you understand what I'm saying. So it is not clear as a normal like W that the market should actually respect and continue to the upside. You can see a lot of them. Okay, see this. I want a decent W. I want a decent W. Let's get a decent W so that you understand what I mean. Okay, this a decent W. You can see that. That's it. And there is a liquidity sweeping candle of this W. So market will actually like see this place as area that liquidity is no more there. You can see this week actually swept liquidity that are here. This one swept liquidity that are here. So this market will not easily come back here because he already know that there is no liquidity for him to grab here. But he can actually pull back to this one. Okay, he will not because of this week that have cleared the liquidities that are around here. So, but when we now go back to the one we see currently that the market actually came back there to sweep people out. Let's go back there. I want you to clearly understand this. Okay, now when you come here, you can see, yes, there is a wick here, right? But there is clusters of candle. But on the other one, you saw there was no cluster of candle, but here there is clusters of candle. So there is still liquidity here to be swept. That's why this market came back there, swept that liquidity, and start forming another liquidity for people start forming another trap for people to enter, because you know that he will still come back to sweep them out. You can see that. So some people might have entered here as well, thinking the market, because if you go to the overall time frame of GBP, it is to the upside. So some people must have entered here thinking the market will actually continue to the upside, but definitely the market did what? Did the opposite. Came back down, sweep everybody out, and come here and put up a nice W now. So it is very possible that this W will hold, because there is a sweep candle here and there is a sweep candle here. So you might not say that this will be a viable liquidity zone. This market now could actually break above here and continue to the upside, because the overall direction of GJ is to the upside. All right, let me still show us another example on BTC. Let me show us another example on BTC. Look at what happened here. Look at what happened on BTC. BTC came back, BTC is the upside, right? But there was a correctional move here. There was a correctional move, but currently you can see it's to the upside. Now, when it came here, it put up a clear W here, right? It put up a clear W here. And also, when he now come here, he created a trap here. Look at this series of candles. And when he created this series of candles, he started moving to the upside. Now, some people will go and enter here because they saw that this market actually gave this hammer candle here and start pushing to the upside. But this place is a very viable zone for liquidity area, because it's just a cluster of candles that pushed the market away. So the market will actually come back to sweep that area, because that some people must have went and entered here. You understand? I'm putting their stop loss below. So even if you entered here and put your stop loss around this area, or even around, you see that he must still sweep you out. You understand? He must still sweep you out, because why? It is seen as a liquidity zone. You can see I mark dollar here. Why I mark this dollar there is because I know this is a viable zone to call a liquidity zone. Here, I didn't mark it dollar because it is a nice and W and a sweep of liquidity is there already. But you can see here, there's no major sweep of liquidity, just a cluster of candle, and it moved the market away, giving a break of structure. That place is a viable liquidity zone. Market will actually come back there to sweep it out, then continue its movement. You can see that really happened. It came, sweep, entered into this zone again. This other block that is here, I say I marked it on that block. He entered there, and from there he pushed to the upside. You see, he's rallying to the upside. So that's what I want to show us, guys. The zones to actually depict as what? Liquidity zone. Not all zones are liquidity zones, but there are major areas you will see on the chart. You call them liquidity zone. Like here now, you will not say that this head and shoulder. Look at left shoulder. Let me delete this guy. It's blocking our view. So see, this is left shoulder. This is the head, and this is the right shoulder. And the market is doing what? It's moving to the upside, right? Now, you cannot say that this is a liquidity, because look at this candle is a liquidity sweeping candle. There's a liquidity sweeping candle here. And this guy seems as if it's a liquidity sweeping candle. So all the liquidity here have been grabbed. So the market have to do what? Rally to the upside. All right, guys. Can I see show us another example? Okay, let me see if this one you have a liquidity sweep here. Aha, like all these clusters of candle now, you can see there are clusters, but there is a liquidity sweeping candle here. So it swept this liquidity, but actually this market, when it will be coming back, it will definitely come back to sweep all this area again. It will still sweep it to this side. You can see there is a good liquidity sweep candle here. So it is possible that this market will just sweep these ones that are here and actually rally into this range and continue to the upside. Well, I want to see a viable liquidity sweep. Aha, thank you. So this is an area, you can see this guy came back down to do what? because they thought the market is going to the upside, not knowing that it just gave a clusters of candle that is not good to be called a clear W bottom, and there is no candles that swept below all this area. Then market have to come back to sweep it out, because people must have put their stop losses here and entered for a buy. He came back, sweep them out, and after that sweeping, this is the candle that swept everybody. After that sweep, the market now rally. You can see they now rally over to the upside, because the market cannot move without liquidity. The market cannot move without liquidity. All right, guys, that's what I want to share with us in this episode. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so that immediately I drop new videos, you'll be one of them that will see it first. All right, see you guys in my next video. Peace out.